welcome to our little meal prep session. Today I'm going to show you typically what I do to meal prep my work lunches for the week. So you guys kind of caught me at the end. So what I do, I'm really good at budgeting my money. I go to Trader Joe's. I used to go to Kroger. A lot of people think I'm crazy when I say I go to Trader Joe's because they think it's expensive. I typically spend $75 to $90 to buy enough food to prep for 2 weeks. So I prep every Sunday, so I prep just 1 week in advance. So today, like I said, you guys are catching me kind of at the end. So I have some ground turkey I'm gonna make. Oh, sorry, it's a piece of ice. Some asparagus, which you'll notice on our grocery shopping guide, I did say you can buy asparagus frozen, or you can buy fresh asparagus if you prefer that, but I'm lazy sometimes, so I'm gonna go with frozen. And then I'm going to cook some jasmine rice. And then these right here, these are just kind of some of the stuff I'm gonna use to spruce it up. I really like sticky rice. I like when it has like a little bit of sweetness to it. So I actually add stevia drops to my rice along with coconut aminos because it kind of makes it like soy tasting and it doesn't have as much added sodium as regular soy sauce does. And then I add garlic and herb Mrs. Dash to my meat. And then of course Himalayan salt, pepper, and then I always recommend just using the sprays for your oil. If you buy like regular vegetable oil or regular coconut oil, it's just a lot of extra fat, and almost all sprays that I'm aware of have 0 grams of fat. So, all right, so let's actually start cooking. I usually do my rice first. This is actually my roommate's. It's like a rice steamer. I'm not sure where she got it, but it's literally life-changing if you really like rice. I have a really hard time.
It's a rice cooker.
Rice cooker, I'm sorry. I have a really hard time making rice like on the stove. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend buying the rice in a bag because you literally just keep it in the bag, put it on the stove in boiling water, and it cooks way better than any experience I've ever had trying to make rice on my own. So I will show you guys how to use this. So anytime you make rice, you want to do the equivalent of what you're making. You want to equalize that out with the water. So I do 2 cups. I do 100 grams of rice each day in my lunch. So I put enough in for 2 cups, and then I have a little bit of leftover at the end so I can actually eat when we're done shooting this video. I'm using jasmine rice. Trader Joe's brand is my absolute favorite. So that's 2 cups of dry rice. I'm gonna do 2 cups of water. Everything equals out. Perfect. And like I mentioned in the video, I have a sweet tooth, so I really like the taste of sticky rice. And some people might think this is a little weird, but I actually add stevia drops to sweeten it up a little bit. And it just tastes so good. So I'm gonna add some of these. I do a decent amount because like I said, I have a sweet tooth.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot of rice, so it all mixes together. And then I also add coconut aminos. I found these at Trader Joe's as well. It's not nearly as much sodium as regular soy sauce. It's still got sodium, but your body does need some sodium. You don't want to be afraid of it. It needs a certain amount every day. So this is kind of what I add for a little extra flavor and to get my sodium intake up a little bit. So once everything's added, just gonna do a little spoon. We're just gonna mix everything up. Since Lacey said I put too much stevia in, we're gonna really stir it to get it all mixed in there. And then since I have this machine, literally all I have to do from there, just close it. And then this is considered, jasmine rice is a white rice. So we're just gonna hit white rice. And that's literally it. It does like a countdown when it's kind of going towards the end, so that way I know it's ready. It literally turns out perfect every single time. Okay, so we're gonna move on to my protein. So like I said, I'm gonna do ground turkey. Typically I buy grilled chicken and ground turkey. I did grilled chicken last week. I actually bake it in the oven and then shred it. So I add a little bit of chicken broth so it's easier to shred. A little bit of water. For my turkey, I typically cook it just right on the oven, right on the stove. And then I actually add egg whites for added protein, a little bit of added sodium, because as I mentioned earlier, your body does need sodium. And then for my vegetable this week, I'm gonna do asparagus, which, as I mentioned in the intro, you can buy fresh or frozen asparagus. Coconut oil, I just like the taste of it better, but any type of spray will do. And like I mentioned, it helps if it's 0 grams in fat, which is why I don't use the oils. So basically, spray it. And then I literally just cook the turkey completely through first before I add the egg whites. And then for my asparagus, I just cook it at the same time. I like my asparagus like charred almost. I like a little bit of crisp to it, so I leave it on there for a little bit of time. Okay, so all the pink's gone out of my turkey, so I know it's cooked fully through. I strain it before I add my egg whites, just to kind of get, you don't see a whole lot of water with fat-free turkey like I buy, but you know, sometimes it gets a little watery just from being on the stove. So I'm just gonna strain that, get all the water out. We'll check on the asparagus real quick. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna leave it on for a little bit longer just because, like I said, I like mine charred, but obviously if you're not into that, it would be good to take off right about now. I'm just gonna leave it on for a few more minutes. For the egg whites, like I said, I just do this for added protein. So I do about 4 ounces of turkey for each meal. So I equivalent it, I times this number by 4. Just so it's about 5 extra grams of protein on top of the turkey that I'm already eating. So I do it all at once. We got our food scale, turn it on. This is Trader Joe's brand egg whites. So food scale zeroed out, so 46, we're gonna add about 184 grams of egg whites, which seems like a lot, but when you're mixing it in with all the turkey.
How much extra protein is 184 grams?
So 184 grams is 20 grams of protein total. But like I said, I portion it out, so it's gonna give me about 5 extra grams on top of my turkey per meal. Okay, so 185, close enough. Sometimes it's not always perfect. Cool, so you just saw me strain my turkey. I went ahead and resprayed my pan, lowered the heat because it was really hot. From when I was originally using it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my egg whites. So I kind of just spread them all throughout my turkey. Give it a little bit of shake, and then obviously you just
Give it a little shake.
Obviously you're just gonna kind of mix it till the eggs cooked all the way through. And this is when I go ahead and add my seasonings.
The herbs.
Yeah, the herbs.
Garlic and herb.
So we're gonna go, I add this to my turkey.
And what's so great about Mrs. Dash?
So all of Mrs. Dash seasonings are sodium free, and I just like them because they're super duper tasty. The Fiesta lime's really good, but this one's by far my favorite, but they literally have so many flavors to pick from. I'm gonna add my Himalayan salt, or Himalayan salt as I've called it in the past. And then I'm gonna add a little bit to my asparagus as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my asparagus off because it is nice and charred. And then I add a little bit of pepper. And like I said, you're gonna mix it till the eggs cooked all the way through. So. Cool. So finally, all my food is cooked. Everything's ready. So I just put all my food into these containers. They have 3 compartments. These are the ones we put on the meal prep guide.
We put freshware on there, but
Freshware,
they're
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah. So just 3 compartments, and I just really like it. They are dishwash safe, they're microwave safe, and I put them in the freezer and in the fridge. I think I got these like 5 months ago, and they're still looking pretty good. Haven't ripped or anything, so I'm gonna continue to use them until I have to order more. Okay, so what you guys saw me make today is gonna be enough food for exactly 4 meals. typically when I buy, like I said, I go grocery shopping.
Shopping.
It gives me enough groceries for 2 weeks. I buy 2 things of chicken and then 1 thing of ground turkey. So the chicken makes 6 meals. So I have chicken Monday through Friday my first week, and then I have chicken again on Monday, and then I always do my turkey, so I have that for the remainder of 4 days. Cool. So I'm going to show you guys how I weigh out my meal and portion everything out. So I'm just going to show you just one of them. So I've just found that it's easier to do it meal by meal rather than doing turkey all in one, asparagus all in one. Everyone could have a different preference, but this is just easiest for me with the way my kitchen's set up. So I usually do the rice first. Like I mentioned earlier, I do 100 grams. So I just use this huge spoon that I think I got from Amazon. Food scale zeroed out. I shove all my rice into one of these smaller compartments. That was a pretty good guess. So I'm at 93, so I just need a little bit more. Get to 100. Spot on. Then we'll move on. For asparagus, it says that it has about 4 servings in it, but it's a little less. The grams are 85. I do about 75, just so I have an even amount for all 4 days. I'm gonna use my fingers.
Did you wash them?
Yes. Yes, Mom. So I'm a little over, so I'm using my fingers again. Just gonna eliminate 74, it's close enough. And then for my turkey, I do 112 grams, so that's 4 ounces of ground turkey. That's gonna give me about 27 grams of protein plus the 5 extra grams I added by mixing in the egg whites. So we're at 0. I'm gonna add that right there. Okay, we're at 97. Just a little bit more. A little too much. All right. Eliminate like 1 little piece to get me right at 113. 112, but 113 will do. Cool. And then I literally repeat that for the rest of my remaining meals. Okay, so everything's cooked, everything's in the container, ready to go. I've got my vegetable, I've got my carbs, I've got my protein. I do need to add a little bit of fat. So what I do, since I microwave these every day at work, I just throw in skinny cow cheese into each one. One, it tastes really good, and I never really understood a good way to eat these because they're like awkward squares. But
They're triangles.
Triangles, I'm sorry. But if you heat up your meal first in the microwave, mix everything together, and then put that on top for about 30 more seconds, it literally turns out perfect. And then for a little bit more of extra fat, these have about 1.5 grams in them. I do a serving size. Right now I'm using the spinach, kale, and Greek yogurt dip from Trader Joe's. Since I'm obsessed with Trader Joe's, I usually try like all their different dips. They have a really good avocado tzatziki dip as well. But basically what I do is just do a serving size. Each time I heat it up, I mix everything together, and it literally tastes amazing. If you're not a Trader Joe's shopper, the Bolthouse Cilantro Ranch reduced fat yogurt dressings are really good. Any yogurt-based dressing is gonna save you a little bit on your fats. So that's what I recommend. And that, we started this video a little after 5. It is now 6:08, so that literally just took 1 hour out of my whole day, and I have lunch for the rest of the work week.